Hey there, beautiful ones. Just checking in with everyone by the light of the setting sun. And I just wanted to speak into being able to transform everything instantaneously just by remembering the purity and the power of our light. And it's awesome when you get to the point that you realize this. We are masters of transformation, absolute masters of transformation. And when we arrived here, we remembered, we already knew that part of the reason that we came was to be like crystals, to be able to take the heaviest of energies, the heaviest of experiences, whether they be ours or anybody else's, and transform them effortlessly, just the way a crystal does. You know, a crystal refracts frequencies of light, doesn't it? It absorbs light and then it turns that light into different spectrums of light. And the reason that we use crystals is because they transform heavy energy. You know, all the crystals have their different purposes. But we've forgotten that we are the crystal. We're made of the same stuff, and we have that capability and that power within us to do that once we remember that we do. So often when we come here, as well, always actually, when we come, especially between the ages of 1 and 12. So in the Andes, they talk about having 3 stages of development. So between 1 and 12, as children, we come in, and our one of our primary purposes, as weird as this might sound to some, is to be these digesters, these transformers of heavy energy. So we pick up everything from everyone around us, from our parents, from our peers, from the environment, from everything that's going on, but particularly our parents, right? And so we come in with this contract, if you like, that we will take their heavy energy and we'll transform it for them. Now, in the ancient times, they were really aware that kids were able to do this, and so they were, practiced consistently, clearing the child's energy field. Like in the Andes, for example, they keep a baby bundled completely, not to the outside world. They carry them on their backs, whatever they're doing, walking mountains, in the fields, whatever it is they're doing. And the baby is always bundled, so it's the wind, the air never really gets to its face when it's out and about. And the reason for that is because the energetic field is really open, especially in those first few months of life, and they take on everything. So these days, because we've lost touch with, the precious diamonds that children really are, and how much they take on, they get put in situations, they suffer abuses, they are in broken families, and all of these things that go on. And these little tackers, they take on all of the energy. We all did it, every single one of us. And not to say, even children that come into really loving, beautiful families, when there's not like a conscious awareness of what's going on, which in most families, especially for most of us, there just wasn't that conscious awareness of what was happening, right? And so the kids, they take on way much more than they're able to transform themselves, and then they hold on to it, and then we carry that throughout our lives, and it comes up at a different time in our lives to be able to be transformed. So in this journey of remembering, we start to realize and remember that we are these crystalline beings, that we are these vibrational masters of light, and that we can literally chew up and digest heavy energy like that. That it doesn't have to be a big drama, it doesn't have to be a big process, there doesn't have to be a big story around it. This is when we really start to work on the level of energy and not on the level of story. So it's okay, because we flip back into story sometimes, and that's a part of the process. It's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But eventually you get to the point where you just know that everything is on the level of energy. And so you can go in and you can see where it is in the luminous field, and you can literally just transform it with your light and with your breath. And it's not to say that you bypass the feelings, but you go into those feelings with the light of your awareness, and you have no fear of going into those feelings, because you know that they're they're just a story. It's not to take anything away from our stories, you know, because of course there's been things that have happened that are super traumatic, and the event itself, you know, of course it's these things are really traumatic to happen. But we have to keep coming back to the creatorship and to really understanding that on some level our soul contracted those things to happen so that we could realize what you're realizing now, that you can transform it with your light. And in doing that, in freeing yourself like that, you also free the other souls that may have been perceived as perpetrators in the process. And at the end of the day, it doesn't actually matter what happened. It's all about how you deal with it, how you react to it, and what you choose to do with it. Do you let it take you out, or do you use that as fuel to fuel your growth and your journey? So it's just awesome. Yeah, there's more that I could say on that, but this is really, really awesome stuff. This is when we don't have to do so much of the healing, but we're more in the receiving. We're more in, we step from being in the clearing and the healing mode into true creatorship, because we realize that whenever something comes up, we can just go in and transform it really effortlessly. So it's powerful stuff. We don't have to, it's up to us whether we want to continue to beat the drum on the story or not. That's basically what it comes to. It's entirely up to us. And yeah, so it's awesome. Love you. Bye.